All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Open Market Prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Carlos, I am absolutely fantastic, albeit a little chilly this morning. I decided I wanted to air out the house, and I opened all the windows. Didn't really think about it too much, and until I realized it was it equalized temperature with the outside, and it's only 11 degrees here, which is what, 52 Fahrenheit? So it's a little cold in here right now. So,
yeah, but a little crisp. 52 is good. It's crispy.
52. It's a little crisp. But we got to get the show going. Get some energy. It always warms up in here when I get doing this thing. So pretty excited actually. I think today's going to be a great trading day. We've had a pretty bad week, and I not a bad week. It's been like a lackluster trading week. And depending on which side of it, like if you tried to force trades, you could have had a horrible week. If you were patient and just waited for your opportunity, you could have had a great week. So I think that, this Friday is probably not going to be much different, but I'm looking forward to taking advantage of the opportunities that present and hoping I can do that. So as I was, putting into the chat there on YouTube, instead of instead of TGIF, I think today it's TGOF. So there you go. Instead of, as a trader, it's not thank God it's Friday, right? You don't want it to be Friday because that means you got 2 days of no trading. It's TGOF, which is trading's great on Friday. That's our new expression for today. So there you go.
There we go. Excellent. Friends, let's get right to it. We got some data that's coming out right now. So let's go to that before we get to our gappers list and see what's happening there. But Peter, we got the PCE coming out 8:30, and we'll see how the market's going to react to this.
Indeed. So, we have a bunch of numbers that have just come out. I haven't had a chance to update our page here. However, we do have, let's start at the top here. PCE, core PCE. Well, no, let's just base PCE came out, and expectation was 0.1%, and it came out at, that's interesting. Came out at 0.1%. So there you go, right on target. Core PCE, though, was 0.2, came out at 0.1. So close enough that it's right in there. So this, I guess means that the Fed was pretty much on target with their expectations. Now, the personal income and spending was interesting. The expectation was, as you can see on the screen here, 0.4% growth on income, 0.3% on spending. So everybody was supposed to feel 0.1% richer this month. The reality is they both came out at 0.2%, which means that basically everybody treaded water on average. Is that how you guys feel? Probably not. How do you judge? Carlos, I don't know about you, but I can't judge my budget within 0.2%. I feel exactly the same as I did last month as I did the month before. I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where you just feel the same until one day you wake up and you're like, bread is like $5 a loaf? What the hell happened?
Sneaks up on you. That's exactly how it goes.
Yeah. Anyways, the other numbers that came out were the advanced retail and wholesale inventory numbers. They were pretty much right on target as well. 0.2% for wholesale, 0.4% for retail. So no surprises there. The only other number we've got coming out today is at 10 a.m. with the consumer sentiment number that will be coming out. Just make sure. Is that right? Consumer sentiment? I'm pretty sure it's consumer sentiment. I'm seeing it on, there it is, Michigan's consumer sentiment. Yes. So that'll be coming out at 10. Again, market impact, it's marginal at best. So I don't think you have to worry about it. We do have a couple of Fed speakers again today. Remember, yesterday there was Fed speakers all over the place. They largely had no impact on the market. So they were towing the line and kept saying, basically the same things that Powell was saying when he announced the interest rate. So no surprises there, but we do have, for example, I think at 1:15, Bowman is speaking today. I think there's one later in the afternoon as well. But again, don't worry about it so much. The market should just do what the markets are going to do, which leaves us to a couple of earnings actually that we had after the close yesterday and that we can look at this morning. And of course, as always, our ever popular Gappers list.
Absolutely. Speaking of the gappers list, more green today on the screen as well. And again, our Chinese tickers just, I mean, they're just crushing it. They're crushing it. You can see here a more, even TAL, you guys remember this, TAL is that Chinese education company. Even that's here today. So yeah, gapping up this morning. We got a bunch of
Even
stuff,
that.
and we also, yeah, even that, which we stay away from as far as we can from that ticker. And then we have some stuff gapping down as well. We have Sava, NVO, and Dell. Ooh, Dell down 2.1 there. So let's see what's happening. We'll look at the top five on the gap up list, and then we'll look at our overall Chinese tickers, which have been, again, very active over the last couple of days with the stimulus package and stuff that the Chinese government is looking to give. I don't think they have given it yet, but they're looking to give a couple of some big dollars out there. So we'll see how that works. Oh, not dollars. I guess it would be yen, right? So yeah. All right, there it is. Control A, Control X is gonna remove our tickers from Dash Trader Pro. We will refresh that. Let's look at the first one, which doesn't look so great. It's a low flow, sitting at a 730,000 shares flow, so very light. But pre-market looks good for a low flow. I mean, this is what you want to see in the pre-market. You want to see these kind of ABCD patterns flowing nicely. It's trending well. You got 10 million shares traded. Typically,
Danger,
like
Will
many of these.
Robinson.
Oh yeah. You
Danger.
can-
Danger. Look at
yeah,
a daily chart on this bad boy.
yeah.
And there you go. So
Yeah, it's
this
horrible. Yeah.
basically the only reason it's up here is because they exercised a 1-for-40 reverse stock split. So this stock just a couple of days ago, quite literally, was trading at 12 cents. Multiply it 40 times, and you get roughly to the price. So this is not the type of stock I want to trade. Now, that being said, the reverse stock split, you can see where it happened, right? You can see this big jump. It happened on the 24th. And so it's got another bump, which is interesting, but you've got to keep in mind that this is on significantly lowered shares because their float just, reduced in size by 40 times, or what is that, like 4,000%. So it's I don't know, this still feels like super dangerous stock. As you said, Carlos, it looks good pre-market, like I won't argue that, and 10 million shares, pretty stunned at the volume pre-market, but it's sketchy, man. This is a super low float you got to be very careful of.
Yeah, you gotta know what you're doing, man. Gotta know what you're doing.
It's a trap.
Usually we don't focus on these type of stocks. It's a low flow, so just be very careful. If you have no experience on it, stay away from it. I'm gonna be doing the same, right? But everything looks great. If you're a low flow trader, this is your bread and butter. This looks good. This looks really good. But if you're not, stay away from that one. Next on the list, guys, is gonna be.
Is it? Can we actually use the "it's a trap" meme out there? I mean, is it like? It's got to be common domain now, right? I mean, I know it's a Star Wars thing. Can we put the Admiral on there?
I don't think there's any. No, there's no copyright on memes. That's free for all, man. You're good to do whatever you want on those. I think I have never seen anybody get in trouble for any type of meme. So
you keep throwing these.
We got to get the Admiral on there because we need that occasionally, where it's one of those where instead of garbage, maybe it's a trap. It's a trap. Be careful. Yeah. Anyways, if you like trading this stuff, every once in a while, some of our members trade it, and you can make money. Like, don't get us wrong. We say this all the time. I just want people to be very, very careful about these because they can move down as quickly as they move up. In fact, more quickly sometimes. And there he is. All right. Thanks, buddy. It's a trap. Anyways. All right.
All right. So next on the list is going to be MNSO. So MNSO, I think we saw this yesterday or the day before. It's been gapping up or down quite a bit here on the daily. Intraday action, how has it been? I mean, yeah, this is not great. Did get some movement yesterday, a nice little drop there. Then it went flat. So not a big fan of this one. Today's gapping up again. Volume seems very light. So yeah, I'm gonna skip on it, guys. I don't like the way this looks as far as the daily and the intraday. Although yesterday morning, it looks like the first half of the day. This is not bad. Without knowing how the price action was, this looks pretty clean here. So Peter, anything on this one worth mentioning?
I mean, earlier this week they had downgrade, downgrade, downgrade. They're getting all these downgrades, and then the stock popped up. I mean, look at this daily chart. Look how, I mean, that just does not look like a pretty daily chart, right? Gapping almost every single day. You got these big wicks, tiny little bodies. I just, yeah, it's got to be a tough one to trade. I got better things to look at personally.
Yeah. Let's take a look here, guys. The next one is Tao. This is garbage, so we usually just skip it. It's a Chinese education company. Be very careful on that one. And then speaking of China, I mean everything here. XPEF, JD. We have PDD. We have. I don't see Baba on here today, but all of these have been just in play, and they just keep pushing high. If you look at PDD, had a great day yesterday after the kind of a little bit of a flop here at the market open, then traded very, very well towards the upside. And then many of these Chinese tickers are just crushing it, right? So around 11 or so, they really got going. And a lot of them today even gapping up, creating new highs. If you look at their day, look at Baba, guys, sitting at 84 just a couple of days ago. Then it really got to 106 here. JD, same situation. I think they were down at 27, up 39. If you look at PDD, they were down 95. 132. So I mean, they just been on a tear. A lot of that action happening overnight, not during our market hours, but yesterday you did see some really nice movement within 11 o'clock and to the close. So who knows what's going to happen? They're in play today again. They got tons of volume. Are they overextended? Are we looking for some kind of profit taking sell down, or are they going to continue this madness, right? Look at PD, close the entire gap from end of August, basically closing that gap down. Could be interesting. Peter, what's your thoughts on how these Chinese tickers are trading? Seems like yesterday was a good day for them.
Yeah, they've been riding that wave of the of news out of the Chinese government in terms of the massive stimulus package that they've announced. I haven't heard exactly who it's going to, but it doesn't really matter, right? It's floating all boats up. A lot of companies are taking the opportunity and have been over the last little while to buy back their shares that they've been at a low price, which helps. Which means there's lower floats out there, which helps improve stock price as well. So the Hong Kong markets overnight were up again, which means we can expect all these stocks to be up a little bit on this Friday. So Carlos, yeah, it's great news in terms of the stimulus out of China. How long will it last? I mean, we'll see. I'm not sure that it's enough to stem the tide of the actual economy. You still need broader economic activity for things to move, right? Government stimulus, no matter how big, can only go so far. So, but in the short term, it's certainly given a boost. And let's ride the wave. If you like to trade these, I mean, they are in play. So, pick your favorite, watch carefully, pick your spot, and you have a good trade opportunity.
Yep, absolutely. All right, friends, take a look at what is on this gap list that maybe we haven't covered. So we talked about the few at the top. We talked about the Chinese tickers, which makes a big part of this list. I do see MicroStrategy on here the last couple of days, just crushing here. Had a good day yesterday, but it's tough to trade, man. This stock gets less volume. It's not as clean in the intraday, but today they're up 3.2. Peter, what's driving this stock up this morning?
Yeah, well, MSTR, I mean, with the whole sector, as we know, we've been talking about this week, they got a lot of push with Micron, right? And their announcement, good earnings, and everybody got all excited, and the whole sector moved up, except, I should say the whole sector, except SMCI. Anybody watch SMCI? They didn't have a fun day yesterday. Look at that big old red candle. They fell off the side of the boat there and are just getting dragged down river. So so SMCI was down. MicroStrategy, I don't see any specific news on it. I honestly think that it was just it's sort of part of the fun. They're looking to participate. Maybe they're just a little late to the game. They had a good day over the last few days with some steady increases. Looks like it's just sort of continuing this morning. So maybe it's the sleeper stock. I said I haven't been watching it, but I'm just looking at the daily price action over the last 2 days, and it wasn't that bad. I mean, yesterday especially had a lot of trade opportunity in it. So yeah, maybe it's worth watching. I mean, volume was pretty high yesterday, sitting at 17 million shares compared to its normal 10 million. So yeah, we'll have to see if it keeps getting the volume. sure, feel free to play it. But for my buck, I'm going back to the basics, right? Nvidia and AMD. I'm sure you guys are sick and tired of me hearing me say it, but that's what I trade, right? Almost every day, I will take at least one trade on these guys, and they rarely fail to give me opportunity. Doesn't always work, but they at least are steady and consistent. I know what to expect.
Yeah, 100%. Those are always going to get the volume, always going to be in play for the most part. Look at NVIDIA today, showing some strength, went from 122 all the way to 124, getting past that
I always
previous day
forget.
close line into the green. So,
Yeah, I always forget. The room has reminded me MicroStrategy is heavily Bitcoin related here, and I'm putting it in the wrong bucket. I always think it's like a semi, but it's not. You're right, guys. I'm wrong. It's Bitcoin related. But Bitcoin has been moving up over the last weekend, right? We had that big move. This week has been fairly ho hum, but yesterday we got a push up through 66,000, and you can see that a lot of the miners got a boost as well. So I got to remember to put MicroStrategy in the right bucket there. So, anyways, I guess that's the driver probably. But I'm watching now as Bitcoin just hit 66,400. To the moon.
There you go. All right, let's take a look here, guys.
Yesterday,
I do see again.
Yesterday in the close, Jared, I don't know where he got the list. He got the list of like the top 20 most traded cryptocurrencies, and he was like, and he was listing names that I had never heard of, like who's trading these things that they're the top traded platforms, and they were like weird coin names. There are so many of them out there, Carlos. I mean, is there a Carlos coin yet? Have you?
No. I don't even know how the damn thing works. No.
I think we need to create one. The pre-market, the Bearable Traders pre-market crypto coin. We should get on that.
Yeah,
we make some money. I mean, everyone else is grifting their coins. Let's do it too. Take the quick buck, rob everybody. Give you a valuable, virtual currency that you can trade.
Well, all right, so guys, that kind of covers our gap up list for today. So we're good here. You got Bitcoin on there. I don't see anything I like on them right now. Let's look at our. Actually, before I do that, Peter, do you have anything on the gap down that you like on the gap up that you like this morning?
Tesla, I think is worth mentioning. We talked about the announcement that they're actually going forward with the robo-taxi event on October the 10th. So that's something to look forward to in a couple of weeks. We saw actually a surprising downturn on Tesla yesterday. Great trading if you were willing to play it to the short side despite that news. And it dropped a good sort of straight down drop for about $8, and that was sort of the best trade of the day a little bit after the open on that. So good opportunity. So I'm going to be watching it just to see what it does today, whether it rebounds or continues to pull back. I mean, we're sitting mid-range. It could be an inside day on it, which just as a reminder, inside day, if it trades within the range it set yesterday, generally we call that an inside day, but that's still got good room. I mean, it's a $10 range, so Tesla could still move within that range and give us opportunity. So I'll be keeping an eye on it. I gave you a sneak peek. It was on my brain, obviously, what I'll be talking about a little bit later. But anyways, from a gap up, that was one. The other one was Apple. Apple, we had talked about, hasn't really been all that exciting the last while, especially you look at the daily. It looks icky. That's a technical term, by the way, icky. But yeah, I mean, look at these candles, right? Just not that pretty. But I keep hoping it's going to do something interesting. I mean, there's always news on Apple. It's tough to know what news is going to move it or not. But I just sort of like in this range where it's sitting, they can break up above 230. Maybe people get excited about it again and could push it up to these all-time highs that it set back in July. But again, I'm not holding my breath for that. I'm just waiting to see if it happens. So we'll keep an eye on it.
Yep. All right, gap down, guys. We got only two this morning. SAVA, it is down 13%, 345,000 shares traded. Not really a whole lot of volume on here, and it doesn't look good. Day looks all over the place. We have seen this and traded actually this in the past, so it's not a a stranger to us, but today doesn't look all that great. So, Peter, any news? Short flow on this is 37%, so high short flow interest there. Anything happening with them today?
Yeah, they announced that there was an SEC investigation. It looks like they've resolved it, so I guess that's good news. The bad news is it cost them a $40 million monetary penalty to resolve it. So, they did all the usual announcements that they fully cooperated with the Department of Justice, and they've come to a satisfactory resolution. Blah blah blah. But they paid $40 million. And I think that that cash outlay is what's taking them down a little bit this morning.
All right, there we go. And NVO is on the other list here. These guys are down 3.5, 350,000 shares traded. Looks, Novo, yeah, we've seen this stock plenty of times. I never keep it on my list. Peter, I know you've seen them before. Do you keep it on your list? Have you traded it at all or no?
No, I've tried to watch it a few times, but the as you can sort of see from the daily here, right? Once the market opens, it doesn't do much. Like, it's a very rare day where you actually get any legitimate price action, and the volume is very low on this thing. I mean, I think the average trading volume on this is only about 3 million, which means you don't get a lot of sort of shares that you can take advantage of. So they did have news this morning that they've announced that they've committed more than $1 billion, about 1.1 billion, to make the next Ozempic. Everybody wants the next Ozempic, right? This repurposed weight loss drug. So when they say they're making the next Ozempic, are they making a weight loss drug, or are they making a drug for diabetes? I'm not sure which it is, but anyways, they've said that that's what they're going after, and the market, I guess, is not that excited about their announcement of spending. So.
Gotcha. All right. Anything else, Peter, as far as your end, as far as gapping down that you like this morning?
A couple of gap downs. One that I sort of gave you a hint to, Costco, had earnings after the close yesterday. Had a decent quarter, a little bit mixed. They actually missed on top line revenue, but beat on the bottom line. There's a lot of numbers when you get into retail. They look at same store sales were okay and in line for Costco. Membership sales were down compared to expectations. So if you haven't got your Costco membership, go do that. In fact, my son just got a letter yesterday saying, "Hey, we haven't seen you for a while. Renew your membership, and basically they'll give you a free membership." It was like, so Carlos, do you have a Costco membership?
I do not. I do not.
You do not. Okay. Well, for anybody out there that's ever been to Costco, it's interesting. A Canadian Costco membership is $65 just for the regular, and it's $130 if you want to go with the executive. So basically, they said, "Look, come in and buy $250 worth of stuff, and we'll give you a $130 credit against your membership," which basically means a free membership. So, and it was the same thing. You buy this. Spend $150 and you can get the $65 membership for free. And if you've ever been to Costco, if you're buying anything, you don't get out of there for less than $150. I mean, I my biggest claim to fame is I
was gonna say that, like, do you ever leave any store with less than that? I'm like, doesn't sound like you're pushing it too much to hit that number. I mean, that's I go to 7-Eleven and come out with that. Jeez.
Well, exactly. I mean, especially at Costco, right? Where you're like, I'm just going in for toilet paper, and you come out with like $80 worth of toilet paper because it was such a good deal, and you've got enough to last you for like until like the end of your life. But anyways, it's very easy to spend that. So basically, they're just saying, look, just show up at the store and we'll give you a free membership, which I thought was interesting. I've never seen that type of deal. So, and unfortunately, my son is, he's off in Scotland, so I don't think he's using it. He also lives in a very small apartment. I don't know where he would put Costco stuff. I don't even know if there is. No, that's not true. There is a Costco in Scotland because we actually went there. But anyways, there you go. Yeah, Costco's impressive. I have to say, I've always been impressed with their business model. Their turnover, they've got the best turnover in the industry in terms of inventory turnover per square foot. It's like twice or three times what Walmart is, and like 4 times the average of all retailers. So yeah, they don't waste time, man. They just flip inventory quickly. Even with awesome return policies, you can return anything at any time. They don't give you no guff, no bones. Have a receipt, off you go. Right, we'll take it back in any condition. So, it's a good business model. I'm impressed with them. However, the downside is go to Costco, man. Try and find parking, or get through it quickly. That's not happening. I don't care when you go. My only time I had fun at a Costco is I went during like a blizzard, and I love driving in bad weather. So I was driving there in a blizzard, and I was like the only person in the Costco. It was awesome. It was like the most fun I'd ever had. I was walking around, not a single person, right? I could literally weave through the aisles, and like there was nobody to run into. It was lovely. So that's my tip for you.
I've never been to Costco that empty. It's always been packed every
No.
time I go. Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, I don't send traders like I don't have a card. No, I don't have a card. We use my mom's. I don't have one. We use my mother's. That's what we do. My wife uses. We have my mother come over. Hey, lend me your card. We're gonna go to Costco, pick up some things. So that's how we do it. All right, friends. Let's jump over to you guys. What do you guys like this morning? I see here over here in chat.
Yeah,
What's
you're getting a warning,
what's
Carlos.
on your mind today?
I noticed this when I went.
Now?
They're scanning card. They did that to me. They scan it, and they were looking at a screen. I assume they were looking at their little grainy picture to see if that face looked like my face.
I would love for that to happen. And I said, okay, see ya. Good luck packing all the stuff I just picked out here. It's here's your car. I'm out. I would love for that to happen. Obviously, it'd be a waste of time. They scan it. I think they scan it before they actually start charging, right? They do the thing, whatever. But if they're scanning it, if they're scanning inside, I could see that happening.
They're scanning at the door. All right. Anyways, enough about Costco. I had two others, Carl. I got so distracted, I forgot about the rest of my list. BlackBerry also had earnings after the close late last night. The BB is the ticker symbol on that one. They don't trade a lot of volume. I just watch it out of interest. It's pretty much a mixed picture. They missed slightly on revenue, beat on earnings, but if you're interested, BlackBerry had earnings there. And Dell, I think you mentioned that this morning, Carlos. Dell's been not bad of a mover, but it hasn't been that easy to trade. Their volume's not bad. I don't mind them. They had basically an analyst start coverage on them. So Deutsche Bank, I was very surprised, was not following Dell. And the fact that they've said they're going to start following Dell and they're starting with a target price of $144 and calling it a buy is good news for them. So that's not, usually analyst upgrades, downgrades are not greatly tradable news, but just being that Dell's generally been, a decent trader, you might want to watch it today. So there you go.
All right, excellent. All right, friends, let's go over to you guys. See what you guys like this morning. I'm looking at here in our chat and also at the members tab over on in our chat and also at YouTube. YouTube, you're saying BMY. What is this? BMY. It's in play. You got some volume here, up 3.7. So it is on our gap up list. Also, 413,000 shares traded. I've seen this stock plenty of times before. It trades horrible, so I usually avoid it. I usually find something better to look at. Their price action, just because of how light the volume is, just doesn't fit my criteria for my strategy, right? So take a look at it. It is gapping up here. If you like it, definitely put it on your list, but it won't be making mine just for those reasons. It's just doesn't trade well, especially for that explosion. I'm looking at the market open for that 5-minute ORB, right? So I'll be keeping that off. Someone mentioned earlier SMI. We did talk about SMCI here. So we did mention that earlier. They were not on our gappers list because now they're flat. They're right under 2%. So again, they're just not making it on the gappers list. But yeah, that is on here. We'll have to see how it trades. I mean, again, the lack of volume, I think we mentioned earlier, Peter might have mentioned it. It's an issue for me on this one. You just don't get great volume. Yesterday was the exception. Yesterday, obviously, you got tons of volume news breaking out here. But for the most part, it's not one that I like as far as intraday trading. All right, let's see what else. MSTR. Yeah, we spoke about that one as well. MSTR. That one is in play, guys. Yeah, I might add this to my list. It looks really, really good. This pre-market. It's got some volume. Day looks awesome. It might do something. Typically not a stock that I will watch, but today might be the day. So yeah, I'll add that on there. We'll do some levels for that one. We did mention it earlier, but I thought I was going to come out with a better list after going to the gap up and gap down, but I don't have much here. NVIDIA, Tesla, we'll add MSTR. How is Baba doing? Is it ripping here this morning? pretty quiet right now. I'm waiting for the sell-off on these Chinese tickers. Whenever that comes, I'm going to be watching closely. I think that could be a lot of fun. So the BABA, PDD as well. I think these stocks are well overbought right now, but they could go higher. The hype is real at the moment. But we'll be looking for some sell-offs if that does happen, we will take advantage of that. So PDD is the ones I'm looking at. I'm also looking at BABA. And for intraday, and that's more for swing trade. For intraday, we'll be looking for some possible breakouts or breakdowns early at the market open. They got the volume. PDD 1.9 million shares traded, 3.6 up this morning. BABA 2.1 million shares traded, up 1.1. So they got it going on this morning for sure. All right. Yeah, BMI would look interesting on the daily and the weekly. And that's why I always say, like, depending on your strategy, this can look great. So the weekly, the daily look awesome. It's the intraday that's the issue for me with this one, right? So, yeah, therefore, there might be some place here if you're looking at bigger time frames, especially with the lack of volume. You know, when you're starting to look at the daily and the weekly, volume is not really a big deal for you, right? When you start looking at smaller time frames, you need that volume and that movement. You can have a stock that trades 10 shares a day, right? And if you're looking at a monthly, you still can get some good moves. So it depends on your time frame. AMD is being mentioned. I know Peter's also looking at this one today. Yeah, it's got finally got some volume, 1.2 here. Trying to get to that 170 there at the moment, just slightly right at the previous day close. Right now, I will add this on my secondary list today. So AMD's got some good volume this morning. We'll see where that goes. Let's see over on YouTube. All right, I think we'll cover. Peter, let's go over to community events and announcements. You can always head over to bearboottrace.com/webinars or click on webinars right at the top banner here, and you can see what's happening for the next 2 weeks, starting with Monday.
All right. Well, yes, indeed. We have a whole bunch of stuff for you next week. As always, Monday, we start with our onboarding for new members and our education series on the platform. So Brendan will be talking to you at noon for a platform introduction. It's very popular. People get their questions answered, especially over the weekend. You're like, I've been trying to set this thing up and configure it. I can't figure it out. Brendan and that session at noon is the place, the person and the place to go to. So hopefully you'll put that on your calendar and everybody can attend, all members that's in the classroom, so that everybody can take advantage of it. Whoa, what's going on? I'm getting confused. Whoa, we got videos coming. What's happening? There we go. Okay, we're back, baby. And then, of course, Carlos does an onboarding class at 8 o'clock on Monday night, once again in the webinar room. Tuesday, our strategy and trade book series continues with Jared, starting off the month of October. October? Are you kidding me? How did this happen? Anyways, all right. It's October it is. Next Tuesday on the 1st. He's going to talk about Spot Gamma. As you know, we had Spot Gamma join us here this week with some information that we're sharing. They've been partners to us for the last little while, and he's going to use Spot Gamma to tell you how you can leverage its capability to help you in your trading. So that'll be Tuesday, October the 1st at 8 p.m. And the week after, Thor is going to take over the airwaves on October the 8th with an introduction to futures trading. He's been trading futures for, Jesus, I don't know how long now, 6 months, maybe a year. It's been a while, and he's got a good handle on how to use it. And the future is now. Absolutely, Gonzalo. So Thor will talk about futures and how he uses them and give you an idea of how you might want to use them for your trading. Wednesdays, it's always psychology. It's Wisdom Wednesday, and next Wisdom Wednesday, we're going to have Dr. Kenneth Reed leading on October the 2nd, usual time, 8 o'clock, with his greatly titled The One Thing That Might Be Missing for You. So he's going to talk about how you can improve your psychology and maybe that one little tip or trick that you can use to improve your trading. Trading is all about managing your psychology. It's about the war up here, not the war between you and the market, right? That's irrelevant compared to you managing your own psychology. So pay close attention to these Wednesday webinars. And this one would be a good one. Then the week after, Wesley Altman is going to be with us talking about the journey to mental resilience. Wesley's been, he's done a couple of sessions with us. We're looking forward to his next one here coming up in 2 weeks on October the 9th at 8 p.m. Let's not forget our Thursday mentorship stuff. Well, I should say on Wednesday, by the way, as well. Nathan's doing a new book map session. This happens at noon on Wednesdays. He's talking. Sometimes you struggle to find time. We got so much going on. We got to put things in where we can. So Wednesdays at noon, he helps you with the Bookmap tool. We've got so many tools that you can leverage, from the DAS platform to Bookmap to Spot Gamma. There's lots of great tools out there you can use depending on your trading style. Nathan will talk about Bookmap and how to leverage it. That's on Wednesday at noon. So put that on your calendar. Thursdays, last but not least, our Thursday series is all about sharing knowledge and getting your questions answered, whether they've come up through the week or they've been just bugging you forever. We have all of our mentorship sessions on Thursday. Next Thursday, we should be back to a full slate, which means that John will be at 11. We'll talk options at 2 with Jared and Megan. Lenny will be back next. I think he's back. I'm pretty sure. I'll confirm that. But next Thursday at 4 o'clock. And of course, Thor, who never goes away. He's always here, reliable as always. Thursday at 8 p.m. with his mentorship session. So hopefully you'll mark those in your calendar and take full advantage. If you want to join us in the Bear Bull chat room, we'd love to have you. We are open every moment that the market is open, Monday to Friday, 260 trading days a year, or however many there are. It's about that. If you want to join us, we have a couple of promotions going on right now. We've got the intro, which is normally $39 for just $1. If you want to take advantage of that, bearbulltraders.com/YouTube to take advantage of that offer. Or our annual membership, which is usually of the best deal, is now even better at only $9.99. That's 60% off. So take advantage of that while it exists. Flash60 is the code, and that probably will not last long. While Andrew's on a mountain, you can probably take advantage of that, but beware. As soon as he successfully summits that baby and gets back to Vancouver, that's probably going to be over. So you want to book soon. So there you go. Flash60 is the code to use when you get to the checkout. Whew. Man, high energy. I need a drink. It's just water. All right, well, we'll start there. We'll move on to the better stuff as the day progresses. But, Carlos, maybe we can set some levels, and I can get ready to tell you what our moderators are going to be looking at today.
Yep, absolutely. I'm just enjoying some of the comments here in our YouTube chat from Aaron. All the lefties loved Elon when he was saving turtles with EVs. Once Elon supported free speech, they'll turn against him. It's funny. I don't think that's what happened. You know what happened? What happened here is once Taylor Swift said she was a Democrat, supporting Democrats, forget it. You're not getting the love from the lefties anymore, because he's obviously Republican, right? So that's not happening. And we'll see. This is going to be tight, but I believe that I'm betting on Taylor Swift. Whatever she touches turns to gold. So if you're in the Trump camp, I don't know, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. All right, let's see, guys. NVIDIA, Tesla, MSRT, AMD, PDD, and BABA also on the secondary list. Taylor rules the world. She does. So she really does. It's awesome. All right.
Are you willing to make NVIDIA, a bet, Carlos?
You know what? I am willing to make a bet. Again, it doesn't matter who I'm going to vote for. I'm in Jersey. This is doesn't matter here. But yeah,
every vote matters, Carlos. Don't say that.
Yeah, I know. I feel a certain way about that, but yes, in certain states, right? But yeah, I'm willing to make a bet that she wins. I'm willing to make a bet. It's just Let's see.
Wait,
let's bet $1.
Have I missed something? Has Taylor entered the race for president or something? What's going on?
No, I'm saying she's supporting. She put her support for Harris.
For Harris, I saw that. Okay, I thought maybe she was I still want to see people put her name down as a write-in candidate, but maybe that will just dilute the vote. So not a good thing.
No,
at this point.
That'd be too crazy.
Yeah.
If Trump wins, Carlos shave his head. Yeah, I could do that. That's not difficult. I grow hair so fast. That's not a problem. I'll do that. If Trump wins, I'll shave my head, and if she wins, I'll shave my beard. Nah, I'm not shaving my beard for nobody.
I think shave the beard is a bigger one.
You would shave your head before you shave your beard?
Absolutely, 100%.
Really?
100%. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll shave the head first, no question.
No, I think the bet should be if Trump wins, you shave the beard.
No, man, it's gonna be so close. No. It's gonna be so close. I'm not betting that. So you could top commit him to his bet. It's gonna be down to the wire. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
There you go. We know where
right.
Carolus has drawn the line. That's fascinating. Okay, here
we
go.
have to have some standards here, man. On this show. Speaking of standards, let's take a look here at our YouTube chat. How many likes do we have today? 124 is what I'm seeing. I'm refreshing. 123. So somebody did not like that comment. Oh well, see ya. But if you do like our show, guys, hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. We have 483 people watching. And I know how this goes because I do the same thing, man. I put on some really good shows and videos, and I'm not the hit the like button type of guy. So I get the 300 and so people that are not hitting it. I'm with you there, but if I can force your hand somehow to touch that button, man, I promise you the next video I watch, I will hit the like button. I promise. I will hit it and I'll take a screenshot, send it to you. But yeah, it's tough. I know moving that mouse over or hitting whatever you have to hit it's a tough. 171. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. It does help us out a bunch. That's what we ask. But yeah, it's great to have your support. So thank you, guys. All right, NVIDIA. Let's take a look here. Levels for NVIDIA, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days are here. So I don't think you need to add a lot more levels. Stay off of politics? Nah, man, we're not going to stay off of politics. We love politics. We love drama. This is the U.S. This is what we do, right? And every politician, I got to tell you, I feel that, and you're going to get me going here, I feel that there's not about who's corrupt on both sides, state, government, federal. It's about whether you get caught or not. You see what's happening here in New He this other guy, Adams, and now he got caught with some bribery and some stuff like that. It's not about who's freaking, corrupted. It's about whether you get caught or not. That's what it comes down to, man. It's just a shame what's going on with this when it comes to politics and these people in power. It's unbelievable. Now, if you have a family and friends in politics that is actually legit, we would love to meet them and say hi because there's not many of them. They're outnumbered by a lot. So yeah. All right, let's take a look at.
One thing I always taught my kids. The one thing I always taught my kids, Carlos, is that your moral center is defined by what you do when you think you'll never get caught. So it's up to you. Getting caught and then apologizing to me is meaningless because you only apologize because you got caught. And that's the shame, right? Like if you really had, if you were really sorry, you wouldn't have done it all along. So, and I know that's harsh and it's tough to say, but that's sort of the reality. And you're right. Our world seems to be on the, like it's, oh, well, if I did it and I didn't get caught, it's okay. Yeah, I don't know. Rethink that. But anyways,
that's what it is.
We're getting into dangerous territories here. So let's get back to setting some levels on stocks. So.
People get upset, but I like pissing people off once in a while. It gets you. It makes you feel alive a little bit, right? So if you got your blood boiling a little bit, that's good. That means you're alive, and let's all work together to get these levels set up. If you have any complaints, email Peter at bearwithtraders.com. He would take care of you. All right, let's go here. NVIDIA, guys. So highs and lows for the last 2 trading days are looking good here. I'm just going to add some stuff towards the bottom. 119.15 and also 115.31 is good. So I think that's excellent for NVIDIA. Pre-market action, although we're pretty much flat. Like if you look at the gains, it's not showing a lot. But if you look at the movement, 122 is the low of the pre-market. We went all the way up to 124. So that's looking really nice here in the pre-market as far as action goes. And then above the previous day close, we do have a level here. It's going to be the high of yesterday. And then above that, we do have the recent highs from August that we were not able to break out of. That's around 131.33. So definitely is going on there. Here's Tesla. I'll give you a life for I like the comments on YouTube are good right now. All right, let's look at Tesla. See, look how many comments we got because we talked about something that spices people up, right? So that's good. All right, let's look at Tesla here, guys. High of the pre-market this morning, 257.99 is the high of the pre-market, and then you're surrounded by the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days here on Tesla. So that's looking good. I mean, they've been on a tear. And when is their robo thing, Peter, coming up? Is that in October?
October 10th. October 10th.
October 10th. That's going to be fun. Is that going to be live streamed like they did with the Cybertruck thing, or that's just for investors only? I'm not sure if you have the answer to that.
That's a good question. I don't know the format that it's going to take. I mean, that there's going to be a lot of news following it. So usually they like to do those events after the market day is over. They like start them at 1 o'clock or something West Coast time, which is, coinciding with the market close or something like that. So I don't think it's going to be an intraday. They probably don't want that type of volatility. Does anybody know? I actually don't know what time it's supposed to be happening, but I'm assuming that's the case. But yeah, Carlos, it should be fun one way or the other. October the 10th, once that happens, get ready, right? Trading after that should be fun on that. Yeah, that's a Thursday. Oh my God, trading on that Friday should be pretty exciting no matter what happens.
Yeah, agreed. So I like Tesla here. We'll see how it goes. 1.4 million shares traded at the moment. Let's look at MSTR. This thing is just on a tear. I have it on my list today. Look at the daily, just insane. 115. We're hanging out at 171, 115, just the beginning of September. On this one, it's all about, can it trade well? Can it trade clean? It can be very sketchy at times as far as the volume goes. But again, today they're really in place. So I want to watch them. Up 3.1 right now, 665,000 shares traded. As far as levels, I just marked the high of the pre-market. We do have the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days and the previous day close right on there. So I think that looks good. If we look to the left here, not politics, but to the left on the charts, we're going to go here to July. July over here is going to be 176.98 and 183.02. So once you do that, I think you're set on this one, man. This thing can move. Look at it. This is February. I don't remember this for some reason. February, this thing was at 54, went up to almost 200 in a matter of a month. That is wild. So just be careful, guys, with the number of shares you take here. This obviously can move very aggressive, so be mindful of that. And that's really all I have, Peter, for right now. I'm going to move some more stuff up in a second here, but for right now, that's what I'm going to keep on my list for the moment.
Well, and you hit some of the hot spots of the stuff that I'm watching. So let's take a look at what all of our moderators are watching. I'm going to start at the top list with Mike, who's going to be watching Tesla and NVIDIA, and then keeping an eye on the scanners on this Friday. Eamon, always keeping it tight, watching Apple today. So he's interested in Apple like I am, so we'll see what happens there. That being said, I didn't put Apple on my list. But anyways, Thor is going to be watching just the market indices, AMD, and Meta. We didn't talk about Meta this morning, but it's on Thor's list. He'll let us know when it's moving. Pierre is going to be watching Intel, NVIDIA, Tesla, and AMD. I'm going to be watching AMD, Tesla, NVIDIA on my primary list. And secondary, we'll see if this stuff moves. Dell, Costco, and MSTR, MicroStrategy. So I'll let you guys know if it does something interesting. Brendan's going to be watching NVIDIA, AMD, Tesla, and PDD. Phil will be watching NVIDIA, AMD, the SPY, Apple, MicroStrategy. He's casting a pretty good net there, so he's covering a lot. And I don't have any IPOs for today. There's 2 that said they're going to come out, but they don't look like they're ready to launch. Yesterday, we had 4 different IPOs come out, and none of them were interesting. They all had low volume and really didn't move at all. So yeah, still batting 0 on the IPOs recently. Somebody was lamenting, remember the days when we had like a new IPO, new offering that came out like virtually every day? Those were the days. But that hasn't happened in a while. So we'll wait. I'll let you know when something new and exciting opens up. But it's been a little while. So that being said, I think today I'm hoping, I got my fingers and toes crossed, although it's hard to trade like that. But we're going to have a good day today. Again, whatever happens, I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to wait for my strategy setups, which means, I might not be trading for the first hour or so. We'll see. If there's an opportunity, I'm jumping all over it. But if there's not, I will not be afraid to just sit and watch. The last thing I want to do on a Friday is get caught in chop and then have Carlos remind me how you don't want to go into the weekend having traded poorly, right? I hate that.
Absolutely, friends. Yes. Who's trading today, Brian? We got Brian, and who else is on board? Is it Thor, or what do we have?
I think I am. I put my own name in there, so I'll be trading with Brian. Yeah. So that's good. I mean, unless anyone else wants to jump in, you're more than welcome to. Happy to have anybody live trading who wants, Carlos, Thor, anybody. If you want, you're happy to take the spot. Otherwise, I'll be jumping in there with Brian, and we'll watch the open with you.
I would have done it with you, man, but I am so tired. I was up late last night putting this thing all together after taking it down so they can install the rug. I have taken this system down so many times already, man. I'm exhausted of installing it. But
I've been tired this week too.
Tired.
Maybe there's something in the air. I don't know. I've found it a tiring week. I'm not sure why.
Carlos, do you have any BTS photos of your setup?
I did not take one. I will take one. I'll send one to you later. Yeah. Friends, have a great trading day. I'm going to leave it with Peter and Brian to take you through the market open. Remember, it is Friday, so you don't want to force. If you've been having a bad week, just take it easy today. You don't want to go, like Peter said, into your Saturday morning thinking about, how you messed up today. So today's not the day to be a hero. Very, very important. We always remind that, because for a trader, it's very difficult Friday to make mistakes and wait till Monday to have to correct them and, be disciplined. So just go into the weekend with a nice peace of mind. Stay away from politics. Politics will get you divorced, trust me. And you should be okay, right? So take care and be safe. We'll chat later.
All right. And let's go to the other side too, and remind those of you, because a lot of people have said they've had a good week. If you've had a really good week, don't ruin it now. Right? Like, don't be afraid. Like, rest on those laurels, man. Take that good feeling into the weekend. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being extra cautious, so you just protect not only the earnings, but the good feelings and the emotional support that you get out of that. That's probably more important than anything. So, whatever you do, I hope don't jump in and take 40 trades before you realize it, and then you're certainly gonna snap to it like 10:30 this morning and say, "What just happened?" That's the worst feeling. I can tell you. I've been there. I bet you there's a lot of you out there. Katie's saying that that's your operational method, is it, Katie? That's too bad. But you know what? It happens to so many good traders, right? Where you do go into this brain fog, right? Often you start with great intent and you take a trade and it doesn't work out, and that frustrates you just a little bit, and you take another one maybe before you fully analyzed it, and that doesn't quite work, and usually it just spirals from there. And literally you can it feels like you wake up 45 minutes or an hour later, and you say, what? And you look at all these arrows on your chart and you're like, what did I just do? Like, I literally lost my mind for a little while. That is one of the worst feelings. And that's one of the things that in our community we counsel to try and avoid regularly. It's hard, right? If it was easy, anybody could do it. But it is really hard. So that's why we say all the time, the psychological battle is the most important. It's about managing those emotions. Like, whether you have a great trade or a bad trade, the first one, or no trade, how do you stay calm? How do you stay ready and watch for the next opportunity without letting your emotions get the best of you? That is really much more difficult than people give credit to. So I know I practice managing that every day, and I still don't have it down. I still have to work at it every day. So don't be afraid if you're struggling with that. Know that we understand. That's why we want you part of the community, right? So we can all help each other. It's like a big self-help group here. So, Brian, I hear you out there. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How's everyone doing? Well, thank you.
Good. I love the pink mug. Yeah. Right. Pink with bunny rabbits on it. That's beautiful.
Look what the bunnies are doing now.
We may have to censor that on YouTube. Yeah, exactly. We've got to watch out.
My eyes. It's like one of those ancient Greek pottery things where they're always doing some sort of carnal act on them.
Yeah.
I went to, when we visited Greece, my wife and I with some friends, we were loving the gift shops, because you go to the gift shops and it's like, oh, look at this is a pretty design. And then you look at the details of your design, you're like, oh my, oh, that's what's going on. Never mind. So I don't think I'll be serving dinner to my parents on that one.
Yeah, I was going to say one of my friends called them my sexy mugs.
Your sexy mugs. Oh, you have a whole series of them, do you?
Okay. We do. We've got blue one, blue bunny one, hippo. What else? Bear. Can't think of what other animal. Anyway, yes, it is a series.
All right, Brian's wildlife series. Excellent.
Wildlife series. Yep. Wildlife mating series.
Okay. Well, there you go. Welcome to Friday, everybody. You can tell it's a Friday vibe going on here. So, and I'll admit, I started it. My fault.
Please don't get us banned on YouTube.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Banned on YouTube? Right. They thrive on this stuff. Maybe they'll promote us. We need to talk about it more.
So
all right, guys.
Here
we go. Brian, what did you have on your list? Meta. Why Meta today?
It seems to be still popping up here. It's into a new sort of trading range. I find it hard to trade Meta, though. I'm going to watch it, but I don't often trade it just because it's such a high dollar stock, and it's the spread's quite often not great. Oh, here we go. AMD's doing the typical AMD thing, dropping just before the open. It'll snap right back up.
Yeah. AMD
so let's take a look. Yeah, some people. I think there's been some requests. People wanted me to go through what the book map looks like on some of these our stocks before the open. So there's Tesla, big order at 260. It's a fairly bearish book though. There's an order here down at 256, but you can see the book is pretty empty right now. So it'll populate up a little more as we get close to the open. NVIDIA. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. Again, not a lot of stuff going on. We do have some orders up here, 128, 127. A little smaller order at 126. Let's take a look at AMD. Again, order up here, 170. And Apple. So order up here at 230. This almost feels like, I don't know if it's no intention to fill order, but it's pretty far off the money. This is BABA. Big move up on the Chinese stocks yesterday with their stimulus announcement. I guess the PCE numbers came in pretty favorable.
They were pretty much right on target. Yeah, not much change.
I think so. Yeah, I think the PCE core was lower than expected month over month.
Yeah, 1.1% lower. So
yeah, 0.1 versus 0.2. And yeah, the PCE month over month was 0.1. So yeah, that was in line with estimates. So yeah, I kind of if I would have been guessing, I would have guessed that's we were going to come in probably in line with estimates, and kind of gives the Fed some cover to continue for their rate cutting. With inflation seemingly under control right now. This is PDE here. You can see our book's a little more bullish here.
PDD.
So PDD could be interesting on a pullback. So we'll be kind of watching that one. What's Paris doing? Besides fixing his hair.
Paris.
Good to have Paris back.
Always good to have Paris back. He's been trading tough this week. It's been a hard week for a lot of people. I think he's
okay.
Working, but
the
hair joke never gets old. Well, I got to tell you, hair jokes never get old for me because I'm just jealous. Although I don't know if I'm, at least it's very easy for me to do my hair, so it doesn't take very long.
So there you go. I always tell people it's hard for Peter to throw his comb away. He just doesn't want to part with it.
Oh, but a bunch. All right, we got about 30 seconds to the market open. I'm keeping an eye on Tesla here as we go into the open.
Starting out with a bad dad joke.
Oh, all dad jokes are good jokes. You just need to appreciate them better.
Yeah. Okay, PDD selling off here, going into the open. And AMD dropping. It's interesting. AMD is actually red on the day. Same with NVIDIA. Maybe the semis are a little bit tired here. But here we go. I'm going to wait for a minute or two here.
You always say that. Wow, MU's really dropping. AMD's dropping a bit. Oh, Tesla popped up. Apple popping up again.
Yeah, Tesla's dropping here. Qs are selling off. They're down to the VWAP, NVIDIA. NVIDIA's dropping. AMD's dropping a lot still.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Keep an eye on AMD here. Wow. Costco dropped $8 off the open.
Yeah, Costco reported last night. I didn't see or hear about how it reacted with the numbers.
The missed revenue, beat bottom line. Membership sales were down slightly.
Okay.
Those are the highlights.
Well, that's probably not great for Costco. I'm just looking at AMD, NVIDIA. Books looks pretty balanced right now.
Tesla up.
Tesla still going.
There you go. There's 259.
Tesla's probably going to 260.
Whoa. Costco just.
Okay, I'm long AMD. Let's just see where 167.50. Let's see if we can pop up here.
Well, you didn't lie, Brian. You'd waited exactly 2 minutes.
There you go. We're into the third minute candle here. Well, maybe not ready to move up yet.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Qs are dropping.
Sorry to interrupt, Peter. Could you share your charts in the BPT chat room?
Oh, sure I can. There's not much going on there, but happy to.
Okay, AMD's looking a little more bullish to the upside here, but we're right at the VWAP, so a little bit. Let's see if we can get a bit of a push here. There we go. Come on, AMD. Break on through 168. That's what I'm looking for right now.
Break on through to the other side.
The other side, yeah. I think we're allowed to repeat lyrics on YouTube, I think.
I think so. The song has been around long enough that probably okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Costco's still dropping here.
Missing out on Costco. Yeah, damn. Expensive stock.
Tesla not doing much, really. NVIDIA, surprisingly, not doing much so far.
Yeah, NVIDIA's not doing anything. I just sold some AMD because I just don't like the fact that it's stalling. So I sold some at 70. So that wasn't much of a trade, but At least I can cover some slippage if we drop.
I'm still waiting. No trades for me. Not a surprise. This is typically just watch and wait. I want to see what the market looks like.
I'm out at AMD. I don't like the way it's trading. Don't like it at all.
And NVIDIA looks like it's decided to break to the downside.
Yeah.
But even that, pretty wimpy move.
Yeah, I think I'm afraid we're into kind of a Friday sort of lame. Although the Qs are looking like they're going to go red.
For those of you on YouTube, I know you're asking about Thor. Thor's doing okay. He's been in the chat room this morning. I know that he said that being on the, he's out there on the, where is he? He's on the East Coast of Florida. So I think he's been, the storm has largely missed him. At least that's what he was saying this morning. So looks like he has internet, so that's good.
Yep. Yeah, I think for the most part it kind of skirted around him. I'm not sure where it is in terms of where Jared is.
I think Jared said it was earlier, wasn't it, that it was like missing him as well. So
okay,
hopefully everybody's good.
Short a little PDD, just because it looks like it's dropping. PDD,
all right.
So. And I think it's going to come down to 122 here. Or that's NVIDIA. Or I should say 133. 132.
Good thing you got out of AMD there, Brian. It certainly dropped.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, everything's kind of dropping. NVIDIA's dropping.
Yeah, Dell's down. Huh. It's a down day so far.
Yeah, so far we're getting a bit of a pullback. You know, the buying brigade hasn't come in yet.
We do have consumer confidence at 10, just as a reminder. So, again, probably not going to move the market too much, but it's always good to be aware. Consumer sentiment, sorry. Michigan consumer sentiment.
Okay, just covered some PDD there at 132.90. I don't know. It doesn't look like it's very clean. NVIDIA maybe going to reverse here. The Qs are gone red on the day. It's interesting.
Yeah, Tesla is really stuck. Look at this thing just moved sideways.
Tesla may not be, is definitely not worth trading right now.
Not at the moment,
Yeah.
I mean, if you can hold this area long enough, yeah, it might be good for a move to 260, but I don't know. I mean, it's impossible to tell for me at this point which direction it's going to go. Looking weak at the moment.
I'm going to get out of the rest of PDD. I don't like the way it's not setting up really that well either. I don't know if it's gonna. There's an order right there at one sort of 132.80.
Yeah, you'd think it would want to go get these big orders at 132 on PDD, but it doesn't seem to. Maybe it's too far away.
Yeah. Looking at Baba, it's kind of breaking out here. Might be interesting. So I'm out of PDD. It seems to be coming back up. So again, that was kind of a flat trade.
Baba's moving a little higher, moving over the pre-market range right now to a high of day.
Yeah. PDD moving back up. I kind of figured that was going to happen. It's going to bounce back.
Microsoft. Watching Microsoft as well. It's definitely sitting under VWAP here. Gesturing, it seems to 430 and a quarter area. There's a buyer sitting here. See if they get out of the way and this thing can drop lower. Here we go. How far? Will you get to the underside of 430, Microsoft? No.
Should have flipped my position on. Should have flipped my position on PDD. I would have kind of thought that it was going to go higher. Yeah. Oh well, whatever.
Opportunity lost, Brian.
Yeah. Tesla looks like it's setting up to break down, but you can never know with Tesla.
Yeah, everything's just pretty choppy here. Taking my hands off the keys. I'm not keen to trade anything at this point. I'm going to wait and see how things settle out. AMD's moving higher.
Yeah, I see AMD going up, but we're right into an area where probably expect some resistance.
Yeah.
It's hard to go.
The high right before the close is right up here at 168.20-ish. So watch that area. If it breaks through that, we could have a little bit of a run. Just trying.
NVIDIA.
Just trying. Maybe not. Wow, I got rejected hard.
You see what happened with AMD right up to that R3 rejection.
I keep one of my charts where I purposely do not include the pre-market data. Let me post it in the chat room for you guys because it's good on AMD. It's sometimes good to know, like you can see right there, the levels that it had set right before the close yesterday, where clearly there was, resistance. It moved lower into the close, and look, I mean, it's the exact same area that we just rejected from. I find that type of view useful sometimes because the pre-market is such low volume, it can distract you from where the broader price action happens. So food for thought, if you have multiple charts, I find it was a trick I learned from another member actually, where, I just, again, take off the pre-market data from just one chart. And that way I got that view.
Well, Tesla's still looking weak here. It's into pre-market area.
Wow. Yeah, Tesla is. Baba. Wow. MicroStrategy is ugly.
Yeah, nothing moving very cleanly here. Well, today's not really a stellar day for trading, and Fridays often are a little bit challenging. So we'll see if something emerges here. But right now we're not just we're just getting chop. If AMD is book is a little bullish. But I feel like it's going to drop here. There's an order right there. Picking up those shares right now. Qs have bounced back. Buying brigade came in. The SPY, not so much. Let's see, Tesla bounced back. I am not seeing anything I really like yet. Except Baba seems to be making a move here. Goes AMD. AMD's back to R3. Again, nothing I'm really crazy about. Yeah, sorry, I'm just not seeing anything that I really like here. So I'm just sitting on my hands at this point.
Yeah, me neither. It's not a surprise for me. Usual. Wow, look at Tesla come back. Take your eye off it for a couple of seconds. Intel pretty clean. Yeah, I see Intel's move. I mean, I'm not sure I would call that clean, but it did make a move in the last 5-6 minutes here.
Yeah, look at that rejection on AMD. So it's and then it bounces off the VWAP here. Just
stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, PDD is breaking out by the looks of it. Nothing.
Baba is pushing a little higher here. It's over 108.
Yeah, 108.
No, it's not. Rejected.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing making any clean moves. Just so sometimes the best trade is no trade at all. And like I said, I'm not seeing anything that I like. So just sitting on my hands, waiting for something. Maybe, I don't know, PDD, Baba seem to be breaking out here. I'd hate to go chasing at high of day.
I guess I better clean up my newspapers. Any big plans for the weekend, Brian? You going to do what you normally do every weekend? Try to take over the world.
Yeah. Yeah. We got things to do.
All right.
People to see.
I got to clean up my newspapers. You might see on the floor here. Look, this. Where is it? No, that way. They all got wet, so I have to dry them. This is my official newspaper drying center here. So very, very high tech, as you can see. Well, and Jonathan, no, there's not actually, I need to pick them up because my daughter's dropping off her dog for the weekend. She's going away for the weekend, and I just want to get him cleaned up before he gets here. So I forgot that he was coming over early.
Is this are these newspapers for peeing on, or are they for reading?
No, actually, neither. Oddly, my neighbor still gets the newspaper, and I just take them from him. But it rained overnight, so they got all wet. I actually use them for my vegetable waste in the kitchen. I've got this thing I bought at a craft show. It's basically just a plastic holder where you can put. Here, let me show you. You basically have to take a newspaper, and by folding it open like this, and you just put it in this little plastic cone, it creates like a little container. Sort of, you could put all your vegetable waste in there. It works great. You just lift it out, you drop it in the the vegetable waste recycling bin, and they take it and compost it. And it's all beautiful. So it's all biodegradable. Perfect system. So
good deal.
Reuse. Reduce, reuse, recycle. That's what I'm doing.
Surprised
I'm doing my part.
People still read newspapers.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's what amazes me. It amazes me that my neighbor still gets a newspaper. Like, I got to say, it's a shadow of its former self. Apparently, they only produce the newspaper it's only out like 4 or 5 days a week compared to every day before, and it is thin. Like, I remember the newspaper being like an inch and a half thick every day, and now it's now you're lucky if it's a quarter inch. It's not many people get newspapers anymore.
Did a bit of a scalp on Baba right up to this R4 level. So
nice.
I'm still watching AMD to see if we lose the VWAP here. We'll see what via Tesla, but the Chinese stocks seem to be the ones that are in play right now. It's like, okay. Let's see if AMD is going to lose the VWAP here. Brook's pretty bullish, though. It's the only thing. Qs and SPY. The SPY is doing absolutely nothing. So if you're not finding any trades, that's maybe one reason we're not making any progress in any direction. Qs, same thing, kind of just hanging around moving averages and the VWAP here. So again, not really doing anything. Yeah, it looks like sort of a buyer's strike, and at the same time a seller's strike. So we're just nobody's doing anything today. Costco, Costco had a nice drop at the open. Wow, that was epic. Baba hit SR4 and now it's doing a pretty decent pullback here. Okay, AMD starting to move up, maybe breaking out. What's NVIDIA doing? Nothing much.
Yep, just set a new high in AMD. Let's see if we can hold it this time. Apple potential it's a little early for a mountain pass, Tom, by my estimate, and I would say Apple is not a good candidate. It has not moved far enough away from the VWAP at this point. It's really sort of it was above and then below, and then now it's just above it again. But for me, a mountain pass has got to be far above or below to get started. So Bubba might set up for one because it's actually moved a little bit, or PDD, but not Apple, in my opinion.
Yeah, PDD, he had a nice move right to R4. That could have been a good trade, short off of R4 on BABA.
Yeah, it really, like, it hit it almost, well, pretty much to the penny here, right? Bouncing off. That's
See, AMD does have a big order at 169 here, so the only problem is we're right at yesterday's high right now, which is often an area where we get some resistance, unless it's going to push through here. It's on a tear. Again, funny how NVIDIA's not doing anything. Oh, there's a nice pullback on BABA.
Brian, somebody in chat's asking if there's any big orders on Costco.
That's a good question. I'll try to take a long here on AMD, 168.62. See what see if we can get to 169.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, John. The SPY looks horrible. It is just like sideways with tiny little wicky handles. Like, it is awful.
Wow, that was not a great trade on AMD. What a this tank there.
Oh wow, yeah. Whoops.
Yeah. Somebody heard me going long, so it's right back down to the VWAP. Costco does have some orders, more, I would say, oriented to the downside. And there's I mean, if you look at look where we are right now, we've got orders down here, definitely. Yeah, I think the Q's kind of rolled over there a bit. Now we're at low of day on the Q's. Okay, well, that AMD trade put me firmly in the red on the day.
Uh-oh.
So that's not good. It's my first red day of the week so far. Anyway, we'll see if we can dig ourselves out of this. But yeah, it's just not a great day for trading.
Not yet. Not yet. I haven't taken a trade yet, so I am happy to be break even. That's okay. This is, again, not unusual for me. We do have just over a minute till we get the economic data coming out on the Michigan consumer sentiment. Again, probably not going to move the market here, but just in case you're in a trade, you never know these days.
Yeah, 1 minute.
This thing's a relative scale. The expectation is it's going to come out at consumer sentiment 69. This is whatever their own rating scale is. So basically, higher is more positive sentiment, lower than that is negative sentiment. So the expectation is at 69. It was 67.9 the last period. So again, the number itself is relatively meaningless. All that matters is it the sentiment better or worse than anticipated and better than worse than the last time they measured it. NVIDIA, upside down mountain pass. Again, NVIDIA has not moved far enough away from VWAP. So my short answer, Trader Singh, is no. Especially being that the pullback went through VWAP. it would not qualify for me as a mountain pass. And once again, it's also too early in the day generally. But
okay, here we go. So consumer sentiment number.
It's out, and it's much more positive than expected. So 70.1 was the actual achieved number. So that compares to the previous number, and of 67.9 and 69 expectation. So there you go. So consumer sentiment seems to be up in Michigan.
So we're happy.
Yay, consumer.
Everybody's happy.
Yay, consumers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that sort of matches with the barely, like slightly better than expectations on the personal income and personal spending, right? So
yeah,
those were not a big change, but all barely, more positive, I guess.
Didn't really impact Costco at all.
That's a good question. How many people do they survey? Jate, I have no idea. Let's see. There's 2 versions of this data released 2 weeks apart. It's compiled from the survey of around 500 consumers, Jate. So there you go. That's only 500 people. So yeah, you might not want to base too many big economic decisions on that. I'm sure someone's done the statistics and, it's relevant 99 times out of 104 with a 3% margin rate or something like that. You know how they always do that, those Gallup polls?
Well, let's see here. The cues are popping back up. Same with the SPY, kind of maybe a delayed reaction to those numbers. But again, it's just nothing looks that attractive for a trade.
Ivo, that's always the problem on these surveys, isn't it? Right? You say, what if it's 500 schmoes? I mean, I don't know how they do their survey. I presume they don't just stand outside of a Best Buy and interview the people walking out with the big screen TV and say, how do you feel? They're probably feeling pretty good at that moment. So, but I don't know.
How do you feel, Peter?
How do I feel? About the same as I did last month. So, the Peter Donnelly Consumer Sentiment Index is flat. So.
It is. Yeah, we're just not doing anything. Looking at.
Sorry, I was about to say, if it's a bit choppy today, now would be a good time for chat to ask questions. And
you guys got questions. We're happy to answer them. You better do it now for me because I'm going to be distracted once my furry friend arrives. But there you go. That's how we'll get the likes. Get my good furry friend here.
Yes, please.
Once Chunks gets, everybody likes Chunks.
So there you go. So Tesla's popping a little bit. We're getting a little bit of movement back up here. The Qs are popping. The SPY is popping. There we go. So buying brigade finally showing up here.
Maybach, yes. For me, yes. Whether it's high of day or low of day on the Mountain Pass, I always look for that volume spike because that tells me that the momentum move has finished. Without that volume, right, the move could very well continue. So I rarely these days take a Mountain Pass if I don't see the volume. There are some exceptions, but if you're looking for one at this point of the morning, I would say absolutely you'd want to see the volume because on a day where you've got a lot of sideways motion and generally lackluster price action, you want to have certainty that this thing is actually going to create a reversal that you could trust. Otherwise, you could get in and just move sideways for 2 hours, right? And that's just wasting your time, basically. So PDD, for example, right? I'm very skeptical about PDD right now. It hit a high of day. It looks like it could be setting up for a mountain pass with a retest to this high, but it did not get volume at that, right? It had a little bit of increased volume all the way up that curve, but there was absolutely no volume spike when it hit what is now the current high of day, just under 138, which means I'd be worried when it goes back to retest the 138 that it's actually going to push through and likely go higher. So let's see what happens, right? See if I'm right or not. I mean, but that's how I look at it. And that's why I would not be taking this as a mountain pass. But time will tell.
Helen on YouTube is asking if Brian could look at the book map for PDD.
Okay.
I can. Yes.
Yeah, I think you've got it right there. See it.
Yeah.
134 and 138, right? Seem to be where the closest orders are.
138. The book is pretty. It's flipping back and forth here. It's Nathan always told me these bars are not right, because you would think with all the red this would mean it's bearish, but that's actually bullish, because if you want to see more orders to the upside. So when you get a lot of green, it means it tends to mean that there's more buying orders down here, which isn't what you want to see if the price is going to gravitate. If price is going to gravitate to yeah. So PDD and BABA seem to be breaking out again. BABA's back up at high of day.
AMD
Tesla's still looking weak.
Oh, look at that. Vindication.
Yeah, right to, yeah. It looks like Tesla's going to go right on the day. It's heading that direction anyway. Look at that. We had that big pop up on the Qs and a little, some move up on the Qs, and then just lost it all. Just in a single candle. So there you go.
Yeah. PTD. It is sort of interesting up here. It did push through and set a new high, but only by a couple of cents. Let's see if it can actually retest 138 or if it's going to drop from here. I don't know what to make of this at this point. Took out those orders, Brian, at that you had at 138.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it definitely took out the orders.
But it wasn't. I mean, it was a bigger volume compared to the surrounding candles, but certainly not bigger than we were seeing just 10, 15 minutes ago. So
now you've got orders at 137 here. I just did a little bit of a short on Tesla because it seems like it's going lower here.
Mm.
So I'm short some options on Tesla 257.50s that are expiring today. I'm in at 295. I think it's I'm going to stop announcing my trades because as soon as I do, it seems like the market makers are listening.
Somebody in the YouTube chat, David J, said he was taking Tesla long because he's bored.
Okay. I kind of feel like it's going to go to, it's sort of destined to PDC here. go to PDC, which is around 254, but I don't know. Yeah, so again, we kind of got to this level. We did on PDD, kind of got to the 138 level, filled those orders, and now there's a big order at 137 here. We may come down and grab all those orders there. Maybe that, there's 140 here. I don't know if we're going to get there today. It seems like a stretch, but yeah, right now Tesla could go either way. I think it's going to depend on what the market does.
I was looking at a short on PDD up here, but like Brian was saying, I was afraid to announce it. Then I got distracted typing an answer, and looks like I might have missed the entry. So, but
yeah, I think
it was not. Yeah, it was not a mountain pass type entry. I was just seeing weakness as it tried that 138, and with the lack of orders above, be looking for a drop. It did give us about 80 cents down there to 137, but without a good entry, I'm definitely not chasing this. What's Coin doing? You're pointing out Coin. Yeah, Coin just moved to high of day. Not a super huge move, but it is moving higher.
Okay, I'm selling some puts, 320.
Oh,
on Tesla.
Oh, look at that drop of PDD.
Yeah, no way. Buddy. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Here we go. And sell some more puts, 330.
Uh-oh. I heard barking. Is that my buddy? Is he here? Come on, Tesla. Yeah, now we've got an order at 136 for PDD. Yeah, well, that would have been a good trade. My stop would have been above the high of day. Was looking to try and get in at 137.80-ish, 70.80. But I said I got distracted, missed the entry. It worked, but I'm not in it. So to be clear, I did not get the trade.
Oh,
well.
Yeah, it was a nice...
There'll be more opportunities.
It's kind of doing a 920 right now. It's lost the 9 EMA. It's at the 20 EMA right now. The Qs, the only thing I don't like about taking this long right now is the Qs are now testing low of day. Here we go with Tesla. All right. 390. I'm going to sell some more.
Brian's back, baby.
Yeah, I'm making some money back here. Still red, but
I know. Hi. Oh, I'm happy to see you too.
So always good to know you got it. Someone who's going to read the paper or pee on it, one of the two. All right. Well, I got out of most of my options now, so I knew a Tesla was going to bounce off of PDC. We pretty much got there, and yeah, so that was a decent trade. And using options, I was able to make us a decent return on that. Look at that. Should have. Tesla is so predictable at all.
Say hi, everybody.
Tesla is so predictable. It almost always bounces off the previous day close.
I know.
So if PDD gets down to, what's VWAP on PDD? VWAP is 135.14. It's quite a ways. It's got quite a ways to go. I don't know if it's going to get there. It would be if it can get there, it would be a decent VWAP bounce play probably. Yeah, Tesla back at PDC. Unfortunately, I am out of options. Don't have any more options on that trade. I will be doing my regular swing trade video on YouTube. You can check that out. You can subscribe on BBT website under the education section. If you go to the bottom of the page there, you can put your email in. You'll get one email on a weekend, and that'll take you to the link in YouTube, or you can just subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's just Brian Pesum there if you want to get notified when I put out my swing trade video on the weekend. So we will not bombard you with emails and other advertising literature if you give us your email. So don't have to worry about being inundated with other stuff.
Also, on YouTube, make sure you give us a like. It'd be great to get to 400 by the end of the day. And then later at 10:30, we're going to have Brendan D come on.
All right. Going to get Brendan on.
Yeah, he's going to give some tips for Dash Trader Pro. So anybody out there with Dash questions, Brendan is the one you want to ask.
That's awesome. All right, so Tesla holding PDC again. Came back down there, tested it again. Oh.
Brian, what's that?
Keys are...
Sorry, what's that link again for your YouTube channel?
I think it's just on the. It's on the. It's on the BBT website.
Gotcha.
If you go to the education tab, it should be right at the bottom. Let me just confirm that. I'm just, PDD is kind of bouncing here. That's interesting. We are, let's see. Qs are definitely in a downtrend. SPY is not trending at all. It's really just flatlining. Wow, AMD really rolled over. Man, how did I didn't miss. Kind of missed that one. BABA is breaking out. It's at 109 now. NVIDIA dropping. Wow, the semi's really getting hit here. So PDD has an order back at 138. I don't know if we're going to get there on this. It's a bit of a stretch from here, but we're getting a bounce. Tesla again just holding yesterday's close. IWM actually having a good day. We've got the yields. All the yields on the treasuries are down today. It's kind of interesting. They were actually going up a little bit after that half-point rate cut. Maybe market's a little bit concerned that Fed was being a little bit too aggressive with their cuts and maybe reintroducing inflation back into the economy. Tesla bounced back again. Let's see what the market's going to do here after it had that bit of a sell-off. See if now that we've come back to the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart on Qs, see if we're going to go anywhere from here. SPY is back at high of day, so we got bounce back there. PDD could be going back to 138. That is high of day. BABA's at high of day again. Tesla's going back to retest PDC yet again. Tesla's a little weak here today. Same with NVIDIA. AMD rejected at the 9 EMA. I'm just again looking for a trade here, but it's getting into the time of day where I don't usually have as good a success rate. So the SPY appears to be wanting to break out. The IWM's having a good day. Small caps, just because interest rates. Dropping today. Yep, SPY is definitely breaking out. PDD is going to go back to 138 here. I don't know if anyone took that trade, but right back at high day. Again, they're keeping Tesla in the green. There's buyers right at that 254 level. So if this fails, $252 could be going to 252. All right, there's 138 on PDD. Let's take a look at our orders here. Oh, Costco's climbing back up here. Maybe on those consumer confidence numbers. BABA's a really tough trading stock. It does breakouts and then it fails and then pulls back. So you definitely can't go chasing that. AMD is really weak. AMD has some orders at 165 here. Might be a bit of a challenge to get there. 165.73 is S3 on the Camarilla pivots. Q's rolling over again. It's funny. Q's are the only index in the green. The one index that's really doing well today is the IWM, 1.3%.
Brian, thank you so much.
Okay.
Do have Brendan here.
All right.
And we're going to swap over.
Everybody out on YouTube, like, subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you for joining us this morning. And so Brendan knows a lot about DOS, so it'll be interesting for those people that use DOS. Might be able to learn something new, so check it out. And final word, have a great weekend, everybody. Hope it was a decent day. I mean, I'm still a little red, but that last Tesla trade got me back close to green on the day. So unfortunately, I'm going to go home red in the day, but that's that's trading. So it wasn't an easy day when you look at the indexes and the price movement here. So take care, everyone. Brent, have a good weekend, and everyone out there, have a great weekend.
Have a good one.
Yeah, cheers.
Hey, Brendan.
Hey, Brent. Hey, Bear Bull Traders. How was everyone?
What are you going to talk about today?
Yeah, so today I would want to talk about, DOS Trader Pro, but specifically the hotkeys, what we have at Bear Bull Traders. We have quite a few hotkeys, but the ones I like to talk about would be on, we'll get to that. It would be on the fixed dollar risk, the fixed risk reward hotkeys, and partially out of a position and then moving your stop to break even. So we'll talk about those. Just want to give a little background. I'm Brendan D from Bear Bull Traders. Been with the team since 2017. And every Mondays, I run DOS Trader onboarding at 12 p.m. Eastern time for all those that kind of want to come to learn DOS, become a member, and you can join the onboarding room. And yeah, also I offer mentorship on that as well. And if you have questions, just shoot me an email. Email's address is right there. And okay, yep, Brent, can you go to the next slide, please, and we'll take a look at this. Yeah, so what I like to do is I have a device called the Stream Deck right here, and there's a screenshot of it there, but those are what we like to link to what we call hotkeys from DOS, where we can have a command come in, which would have a order that will go to the market. So for this one, it would be, I want to talk about the fixed dollar risk. So this hotkey, Brent, if you could jump to the next slide real quick, I want to take a look at that. So, yep. So this script, once you become a member, we can go over that in more detail, but it'll risk a certain dollar per trade based on your stop out level. So on the chart on the right there with DOS, you would double click on the chart where you want your stop to be, and that would be risking, in this case, $10. This is an aftermarket trade simulated that I took here. And my entry would be on that little green arrow there, and my stop would be just above VWAP at 166.91 for this trade. So what you could do is this protects yourself every day when you go trading. You don't risk too much. You don't have to think about share sizes. You don't have to think about, am I going to hit that button to get out of a trade? It's going to all be lined up with one press of one button on the Stream Deck that'll set you up for your risk for that day. And then with DOS, there are additional risk controls that if, let's just say you're down 3 bad trades, down $30 or down $300, whatever your risk will be, you can have DOS lock out the system that no new orders can be placed. So you have quite a few measures of protection in DOS. Brent, can we jump back to that previous slide, please? And yeah, so the next hotkey I want to talk about is a R to R hotkey, a risk, kind of a reward range order hotkey. And this hotkey I do like because it's quick. What happens with this hotkey is that you will, similar to the fixed dollar risk, the equalized risk hotkey, this hotkey will place a range order that will have a stop order that we just went over to protect yourself, and then a reward, a target limit order. So you don't have to, let's just say the market's moving too fast, or you're not exactly sure where your target's going to be, but you want the order onto the market as a limit order, and you can adjust that. So let's take a look at that one. Brent, could you jump down 2 slides to that 1 to 2 risk reward hotkey, please? Okay, so yeah, with this hotkey, there are a couple things you want to take a look at. One is to set the amount of risk to reward. So you could set a ratio of 1 to 1R, 1 to 2R, 1 to 3R, 1 to 4R. And on the chart right there on the right, it'll show 2 orders. So like the fixed dollar risk hotkey, this hotkey will have your stop order that you double click on the chart where you want to be, risking a certain dollar amount, and then a limit order for, this is a long position trade, to the top side that will be, I set it for 2 to 1 here. So you'll have that order out in the market as a limit order, and you could adjust that. Let's just say you found a new pivot level or a new daily resistance or support level that you want to target as a reward, and you could just slide that up on the right side on the chart itself, and not have to worry about, did I time it right with my buttons? Did I click the right button there? You'll have it all out there set for you. And at Variable Trades, we can help set that up for you in DOS Trader. So it's really good to a few different types of trading. One, if you're maybe taking multiple trades at a time, or you have to work a day job and you want to manage your trade on the side, or you just have something to do, you have that limit order based on this hotkey all set to go with your trade. So it's really good. I do like this one a lot. However, you may prefer the equalized risk hotkey that just has your stop out to protect you, simply because if you're momentum trading, you want to kind of get in and out real quick on that hotkey, press of a button, and you're not sending limit orders to the market. So I'd say I use both of these equally depending on what time of day, whether it's trading the first few minutes or maybe half an hour to an hour in. I'll alternate between these 2 keys. And yeah, let's take a look at how I get out of trades, or how anyone could get out of trades with these hotkeys. Brent, could you, jump back to that hot buttons montage and Stream Deck slide, please? Yeah. All right. So yeah, so on the right here is called the montage to level 2, where we have the order book. We have the order entry part at the bottom there that you can manually enter trades. And then in the middle there, highlighted with all these buttons and then bracketed in blue there, are hot buttons, which would be the exact same that I would have on the Stream Deck, but it's with a click of a mouse. So I prefer the Stream Deck simply because I have my left hand on that device and then my right hand on the chart drawing where I would take the trade, where my stop out would be. But to kind of line it out, if you're just starting, these buttons will say what they do. They're linked to a command script that I just talked about previously. And next, I want to talk about getting out of these trades, partialing out. So that would be the third highlighted line here. And how these work is, Brent, can you jump down one more time to the last slide? Great, thank you. So these, I have one for getting out of a long position and one for partialing out of a short position. So let's start with the short here. So if on this little chart on the right here, I took an after-hour simulated trade yesterday to show this, that with the press of a hotkey, you can partial out a percentage of your position. So I like to start with 10% myself and then work my way up to 50%, where it'd be 10% and then maybe 10% more of that new position size, and maybe 10% more, then maybe 50%. So I like to scale out and have multiple hotkeys with different percents of my current position. And the reason I like that is that I can then move my stop to break even. So I like to have stops at break even after I reach a target and then reanalyze a trade. So if the trade is maybe settling on moving average or maybe holding VWAP, I will maybe adjust my stop from break even. But when you're doing, let's say, the first 50 minutes of market, a lot of whipsaw action, a lot of momentum going around, that it's a good practice to have stops at break even, and then you can reanalyze your trade after that point. But what this does, the last thing you want to do, especially as a new trader, is give back your partial profits. And that, you could have a simple pivot level for rejection real fast, and then it go right against you. And you may be like a deer in headlights. You may not know how to react to that. And then when you're a more advanced trader, you can readjust these stops from break even to based on maybe a larger time frame, maybe looking at the market as a whole later that day, and you'll be able to kind of just run a new analysis on it, and then just drag up and down your stop on the chart there in DOS, which is real handy and very simple to do. So yeah, you could do those for both the covers and the sells for long positions. And yeah, I think that is about it for that. Yeah, Brent, do we have any questions on that?
Yeah, let's get some questions in. Here's one from David. Where can I get these DAS hotkey scripts? I think the only way to get these is if they join you in your webinar. So you have to be a BBT member.
Yeah, I mean, right. So if you become a BBT member, we do have a whole download section that has custom hotkey scripts that our teams developed, our members developed. Myself, I've tweaked and changed over the years since 2017 when I started. So that can be the only way. They may be available out on YouTube. Those may be outdated ones or something that we're not using anymore. So really, if you want these keys, you want constant updates and making sure they work with new strategies and just new features that came out in DOS. Yeah, become a BBT member.
So yeah, you'll have to pay extra to get access, but it's worth it.
Yeah, the classes are, I mean, the onboarding classes are free. Become a member and you can come every week and ask your questions on that. So you don't need to keep paying as you go.
I got a question in the BBT chat room asking about your Monday session. Has it moved to Friday now? I guess no, this is just kind of a tease for BBT members who haven't joined you yet in your session, and for those on YouTube who are not members yet, to get an idea of what Brendan goes through and setting you guys up. That's correct, right?
Yeah, that is right. It's still on Monday.
Okay, another one from the chat. I use Steam Deck, so this is wretched. Could you explain the use of free roll, and can you share the SD images? How can we reach you for any SD hockey? So you are a BBT member, so you should be able to reach out and get those. But if you want to answer that one,
yeah, I mean, if the first slide here will have my BBT email address, you can just send over your questions there, and we can definitely take a look. We can set up a mentorship and test out these keys, and just I can give my thoughts on that. The free roll key. So that key I do have in this on one of my slides here. It's a little more of advanced hotkey. I don't want to bring that out yet to the YouTube members, but free roll would be adding to your position with your unrealized profits if you're in the green. It's a good way to, I'd say, increase your exposure, increase your size without taking on additional risk, simply because if you're long, stock pulls back to your break-even price, you'll get out flat. It'll use your unrealized profits to increase your size, but then if it pulls back to your new stop out, you won't have anything. So you'll just stop out flat. It's an interesting hotkey. It's more of an advanced hotkey that I would use for a longer trending trade, possibly not so much for opening momentum trades that I particularly take. I like to end my day within a half an hour. So we could definitely go over that. We'll probably save that one for the hotkey class and DOS offboarding, which is, I believe, 2 weeks out from now for those.
Great. I have a question on YouTube from, hope I'm saying this right, Young Carlos. Does the hotkeys work with options, or is it only for stocks?
Yeah, good question. So I personally don't option trade. I am not sure on that one. I believe it should be trade. The hotkey should work for anything you can trade in DOS, but don't quote me on that. But I'm specifically primarily an equity trader, so I'll have to take a look at that one and get back to you.
Okay, got another one from Homer Doe in the BBT chat room. He's asking if the hotkeys work with a DAS 3-month simulator.
Yeah, they work with the sim, the full version. The only thing I may add to that is your routes. The hotkey have built into it the routes that you would send your order to market, which could be through your broker, if it's Interactive Brokers or Charles Schwab. They may be a little different on that, but they all do work the same. You'll just have to make a couple adjustments to the hotkey, which are very simple to do.
Maybe you know what they're talking about, but here's a question for you from the BBT chat room. Has anyone tried the advanced script on DAS Trader where it uses if, else, and while brackets? So hope that makes sense to you. If you can
Yeah,
answer that
no,
question.
I've heard about that. I haven't ventured down that road simply because I like to keep things simple. I don't like to make my trades too complicated. I believe these are the fundamental basis that every trader should go off of, but there are more complex. The DOS did come out with that advanced hotkey feature. We have not published anything on that yet.
And just to add to the options questions, does it work with futures as well?
Yeah, don't quote me on this. I believe they should. They should work with anything you're able to trade in DOS, since in the hotkey itself it doesn't list out, if an equity. There's no difference in the scripting language, but I don't trade that, so I'm not 100% certain on that.
Okay. I guess I have a question for you. If you're new to DAS and there's the one thing you should change in your setup, what do you recommend?
Well, I would say make sure you have the risk control feature in DOS set up where the system it takes about a day to set that up through the people over at DOS support. They will put in a protection on your account. It'll lock out DOS so you cannot take any future trades. I would say that because a lot of new traders, when things happen so fast in the market, at one or two trades, you may not even feel it. You may realize you're down 5R that day, which may be too much for you. And this will simply lock out DAS, so you cannot spiral down that path that could lead up to blowing up your account. It'll just, if you're off by that much during the day, there's something you're not seeing in the market and you need to take a break. And that is, for new traders, they should have that control where, maybe they're not looking at a particular time frame. Maybe they're looking at the smaller time frame and they keep getting it wrong, but the daily saying something else. So those risk control features in DOS really protect your account, and I have to say you have to use them as a new trader. There's no way around it.
We like to think we have the willpower to stop, but
yeah,
we're all guilty of revenge trading.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the goal, is to develop willpower in order to be able to kind of grow past the risk control feature. But I mean, there's no shame in that. I mean, that's why these hotkeys themselves have stop outs built into them. I would say, like, I don't go out in the market. I don't know what the term I would say naked without this protections to stop myself out. Like today, I had to stop out on AMD. It was just at a 50% pullback near the open, and I had to admit that I was wrong. Simple as that. But as the trend developed, I went back in. I didn't get discouraged. But if I held through it, there'd be no control. I would have no, I guess, maturity enough to admit that you're wrong and then try again. But the worst thing you could do as a new trader is just hold the position and then, pray it'll come back. And then, hey, look, I made money that day. That's not trading. That's just gambling and praying. So these hockeys make you a trader. You have to abide by them with their protection that's built into it.
Yeah, when I was working in news a lot, when a problem come up, I would always say if you're relying on a human solution, a human to, fix it, you're always going to run into failure. But if you change the system, if you take a systematic approach to it, you're going to get less errors.
Yeah, Brent, I agree with that. I would say that these hockeys they put the machine and the man or women built into them. So you have the protection to get out at your own, with the stops that are built into the script based on your initial analysis of the trade. And then your own intuition, your own judgment analysis to partial out making money on the other side of that. So it's really a lot of traders, they'll look at the trade, they'll see where they think they're going to stop out, and then they keep adjusting it, or they say, oh, maybe a little more, or maybe I'll add here. But with these hockeys, your initial analysis has your stop out, and you're out there, and then you can reanalyze, jump back in. Andrew always says, just get out and then get back in. You could do that. I mean, commissions are cheap. There's nothing wrong with that. But to not have that mechanical stop out, you're playing with fire. Stops can trend down all day, and then what are you going to do then? So yeah, but I like to get out of a trade myself on the partialing at pivot levels and using my own technique there. I don't use mechanical stops for my targets so much, unless it's a limit order sometimes.
We'll take one more question here. Have you experienced any leg delay while executing trades while using SD instead of hot buttons on DAS?
Yeah. So yes and no. So I'm going to say yes to that when I had other software installed. Like I have a Razer mouse here, and I had some funky software some Razer software that I was hitting the hockey, and the orders would take a few seconds to go through. And I was like, what's going on? So I figured I uninstall all that stuff, and I just have the Stream Deck software and basic Windows driver for the mouse. Then no lag, never had any issues. So if you have any other software for like keyboards, LEDs going and all that stuff that may be managed in Windows, don't use that. Use a Stream Deck device with DOS and plug in your keyboard and mouse. Then you have no lag. There's no delay between hitting the button on the Stream Deck or hitting the button on the montage. They're instantaneous.
Great. So BBT members, if you're already a member, you can join Brendan on Mondays. That's correct?
Correct. Yep. Every Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern time and 9 o'clock Pacific time.
Okay. I'll let you have the last word, and then we'll head out.
Thanks, Brent. Yeah, guys. So yeah, but please, I recommend DOS. It's lightning fast. The power to add these hotkeys really is invaluable as a new trader. I wish I had them when I first started. I did not. And when these came out, it was a game changer for me. So I appreciate having a time to talk to you guys here, and join my DOS class and get these hotkeys going. Thanks, Brent.